Morning, people. Well, seemed I picked the right day to have off, wasn't it? With all the news. But before I start, I do have something to say on it. Now, bear in mind, I'm not without empathy. And it was sad to see, how can we put this? A lady pass that was a grandmother, a mother, and for many years a loyal wife. And it's sad to see anybody leave the world and pass on. But there were other mothers, grandmothers, loyal wives that died on Thursday. I'm not a royalist, never have been. And I will always mourn the passing of a human being, but I will absolutely not mourn a position. As I say, I'm not without empathy, but that's just my views on the events so far from Thursday. As I say, it's sad to lose any human being, but the position means nothing to me. Sorry if that upsets anybody. No offence is meant by it. They're just my feelings. So, anyway, let's get to the reason for my videos. The new PM has had her first few days leading the shit shower in power. I've called this one the Cabbage Patch Kid. As I do, I give them all nicknames. And I thought we might have had a glimmer of hope. Sadly, I was wrong. Well, so far she has shown her real intentions. We're going to be continued to be invaded from across the channel. We're going to be continuing to lose a lot of money that we've paid keeping these people, as they're going to keep coming in even greater numbers now, I predict. And it's just a big drain on the country. It's destroying the country. It's destroying our culture. And that's going to continue. And because she's removed the Human Rights Bill off the table, we've got no way of stopping it and no way of removing these people. She set the cap at, I think it was $2,500 on energy bills. Where if you look at the way bills are formulated, all this is a cap they can charge on price per unit. That isn't the ultimate amount a household will pay. But she promised to cut VAT on energy bills, which is fine. But she's compensated for that by putting the cap up to way more than what we'd save with the VAT. And she's even had the cheek to say that the energy companies will get some tax relief on their huge, obscene amounts of profit. And in the meanwhile, putting us deeper in debt. Because we will have to pay this money back as she's borrowing it to cover this. So the agenda of keeping us relying on the state continues. Well, I actually thought loan sharking was illegal, because that's effectively what she's doing. She's forcing people of this country into debt. Well, except for the elites, obviously. But we know certain elites, we actually pay for their electricity as well. So she's promised more money to the NHS. So did Hands-On Hancock, the fraudster. So did Jabbit All Javid. And what did we get for that? The results of just throwing money at it was longer waiting lists, which is now nearing 7 million for treatment. The waiting times at A&E still going up. And the response times by ambulances still going up. So that's another narrative that they put in place that won't change. We're still paying for a non-existent service, and they're trying to force everybody to go private. Why still taking that money from us? She is going to continue to keep supporting the war in the Ukraine. Again, using our money. And she's going to continue the sanctions against Russia. Now, this is hurting this country more than anything. But, of course, they're not going to do away with it because, like the COVID and this, they're still using that to blame the crisis is happening in this country at the moment. They've got to blame somebody, haven't they? Because they can't take the blame for their screw-ups or anything. They're just following the WEF agenda and using it all to control ourselves when they can't even control themselves. So, in my eyes, we're still, for the foreseeable future, going to lose a lot of people. I believe there is an intention behind that, although I won't say too much of that. But it's still going to be a very dark winter, a very cold winter, a very hungry winter for many of us. Why they sit in their little ivory towers on top of their big bank balances. You know, we even pay electricity on their second homes that we pay for just because they chose to work in London. That, I've believed, has always been wrong. You know, I thought we had a glimmer of hope with this Cabbage Patch Kid coming in, but sadly, that little glimmer of light there was turned off from the first moment she opened her mouth when she got in power. Now, I meant no offence by my statement at the beginning of this video. I don't have to defend it. That's just my views, my opinions, and the way I've always been. So take from that what you will. But no offence to anybody was meant by that. But anyway, I'll leave it there. So until the next time, people, stay safe, stay strong, and stay free from the tyranny, the corruption, the oppression. Respects, guys.